Hey Pyros, 𝗬𝗲 here at Elite. We are here at Elite Fireworks of New Hampshire. Now guys, in this video, it is all about aerial repeaters, but we are actually not going to display for you guys a few different ones, rather than it's gonna be more tips focused. Of course, 4th of July is around the corner, and if you are into fireworks like I am myself, that means you are probably starting to get ready for your fireworks show for 4th of July. So whether that means you are looking at different shops in your area, or in general, if you are looking for different items to try out with YouTube videos, definitely there's a lot of choices. And basically what I want to do in this video is show you guys some of the things to look out whenever finding the next right aerial repeater for yourself. Now, it doesn't matter where you go, there's definitely going to be a lot of different options, so it can get overwhelming. So here's the things that you need to watch out whenever you're shopping for aerial repeaters for this upcoming 4th of July. So the first thing that I need to mention to you guys is, of course, you need to watch out from outliers when it comes to duration. So as you can see here, this is Rush Hour from 𝗲𝗵𝗲 Fireworks. Now, we have shown this product in action before, but it is a great example of an item that I recommend you stay away. Of course, if you are specifically looking for a cake that you want it to last 3 minutes, that's fine. This is the best and only option that we have, right? If you want one item that lasts 3 minutes, this is the only aerial item that we have. However though, because you're getting that nice duration, it does lack on the sophisticated patterns that you might see in other products. For instance, as you can see, this is up to 500 grams. That's because the legal limitation for powder is 500 grams. So whether you're looking to buy Rush Hour or X-Blast, 500 grams is 500 grams. The only thing is you're gonna get, of course, much longer. So 3 minutes versus X-Blast, as we look at here, we have our price tag cheat sheet, 27 seconds. So 6 times the duration, but it's still 500 grams. So definitely, what are you gonna expect? You're gonna expect a lot more boring, non-action when it comes to Rush Hour versus X-Blast. The same thing, so this is still number one, the same thing applies. So we have shown some items that are outliers, and last week actually, the products that we tested out, a lot of the items from 𝗲𝗲 Fireworks. Now, these are phenomenal cakes, and I recommend you guys check our last video that we posted just so you guys see them all in action. But one of the biggest issues that these items had, so as you can see here, 15 seconds. Now, some of these cakes, it was 15 and even 10 seconds duration, so definitely very short. So you never want to go with outliers in duration because you might be disappointed. And the only time I'm okay with you guys purchasing something that is an outlier, if it is something that you want to add to your show and you are aware of. Up next is about size. Now, when I'm talking to you guys about the size, I'm talking about the actual physical box size of fireworks. Because remember, as I mentioned earlier, 500 grams is 500 grams, and that's the legal limitation here in the US. Now, over here, we are looking at, these are a lot of our zipper cakes. Now, of course, zipper cakes, they have their own effects, they have their own place, so it does make sense for them to be big. But even with zipper cakes, some of them, they don't need to be too big, but definitely, because the size of an item is bigger, the price is a lot more steep. But a lot of customers think, I need to buy something big to get the best show. So I want to give you a great example of one of our items. So this is Joy Fighter, and this is Stop Looking, I Found It, okay, from Apex and Prime series. Now, with these items, they are up to 500 grams, but they are compact. So the savings, sometimes, that's why you gotta look at the details. The amount of savings you can have with these items is unbelievable. So for instance, it's a $33 a unit product, but if you buy the case, it's a 6-in-1. So if you buy the case, it is a 6-in-1. The price comes to $17, so just under 18 bucks. And then for Stop Looking, it's an 8-in-1 in a case, and that's $18.70. So less than $18 a unit, less than $19 a unit. When there's, of course, many up to 500 gram cakes that you easily can spend up to hundreds of dollars, really, depending on the price points that you are getting. So this is my second tip for you guys. Now, the third thing that I recommend you guys is to find a place where you can buy in bulk. Obviously, not a lot of fireworks stores sell in bulk. For instance, as you can see here at Elite, we do give you a lot of items. You can buy the individual unit or you can buy the case. Of course, for instance, there's some items that we are out of the cases, but if we have the items, we will honor the case pricings. For instance, something like this. Buying with a case, you significantly can save more. And of course, there's, however, some places, for instance, not every place carries Elite Fireworks exclusive items, but a lot of places carry Brothers. So for reference, just to show you guys, we don't have any more. We only have 3 of these, but if we had more, that's the case price for that. And as you guys can see, instead of almost $200 retail, you're buying with a case. So if you take the box kit, you're averaging just under $30 a unit versus under 50. So definitely you can get much more steep savings. If you can make it to Elite Fireworks, whether that is Texas or New Hampshire, great. But always try to find a place where they give you bulk discounts, because it can definitely add up if you're buying retail. Same thing with this, Notorious. $40 a unit, and then it's a 6-in-1 for $180. So instead of paying almost $240, and I'm just rounding up, you are getting roughly 25% discount. So definitely, if you have the option to buy in bulk and save, go ahead and do that. Up next, it is all about NOABs. So often you want to get these items whenever you are trying to have a great finale, but my tip personally is stay away from them. Obviously, you might be asking, Valmir, why are you I want a great finale. Like, I want a great finale. Why are you telling me the biggest, best thing? After all, these are 3-inch shells. So here, if I grab one of these, look at this advertising, guys. 3-inch shells. So you are getting the best thing on the market. Guess what, guys? You might not know this, you might know this, but there's no such thing as 3-inch shells when it comes to consumer fireworks. All of these, this is all marketing and gimmick, because in the consumer regulations, just like 500 gram is the legal limitation, while the tube size cannot be more than 2.25 inches. So yes, you want to get a NOAB if you want the biggest shots, because for instance, if you were to go with 2-inch NOABs, it's significantly cheaper in price, but of course you can also go with mortars, which are significantly cheaper in price. And of course, mortars are going to be 1 3/4 inches. So size-wise, sure, if you want the biggest, you got to go with a 3-inch shell, but it is not a 3-inch shell, and you are paying a hefty price because it's marketed as a 3-inch shell. And like as an example here, this is a 2-inch shell here at the Elite Fireworks by pyrotechnics. So we have the Nishiki Super Rack and the Yanagi Super Rack. Price point, $84 a unit, basically. And then under $130, you get 2 of them. So definitely a very good deal, because even with our great prices, a single unit of ghost shell, for instance, from Winda, as you can see here, is $139. And of course, if you buy the box kit, it is a better price, but still, it is not as good as $130 for 2 of them. And if you know, even the Pyro Ginger, let's forget about that one. There's also some very nice compact 2-inch NOABs. For instance, any of these over here, and especially any of these from Winda. I mean, if you want a great deal for the money, like Super Stun, guys, $57.57. Reach out for this guy, $59, and of course Super Kung Fu, $59. And we do sell all 4 of them together, so they come out around like $45 a unit, which is a phenomenal deal. Any day, pick all 4 of these versus 1 or 2 of the 3-inch NOABs, just because for the money, it is so much better. So try to avoid 3-inch NOABs, because you are paying a hefty price for the marketing of them. And if you want NOABs, go with 2-inch ones. They typically tend to go higher, and as well, they typically are significantly cheaper. All right, last but not least, so I am going to go to Rush Hour, because of course this one, I guess it checks 2 of my boxes of an item that I personally would stay away from. But as you can see, guys, it is 100 shots. Now, my tip is avoid outliers in the number of shots. So as you can see, Rush Hour 100 shot. Now, this is not a zipper cake. The only time that I recommend that you guys do not avoid the number of shots is if you are going for a zipper cake, because zipper cakes have their special place, especially if you're trying to do a finale. So there are going to be a lot of shots within 500 grams. They are going to have their own show, and they're great to add to a finale. But what I'm saying is that you want to avoid items that are extreme shots. In my experience, if it goes more than 50 shots, typically you are really going to slack off on certain aspects of it. So as you saw with Rush Hour, 100 shots, 3 minutes. I mean, that one checks the box for two of the things that I don't like, because for that one, for instance, it's going to be very slow and very predictable, because if you're trying to get a very high duration, you cannot have chaos within 500 grams for so much. And if you are going to do a lot of shots, you're not going to have a lot of big shots. In my opinion, that's where it slacks off, and it is a little bit of an issue. But don't get me wrong, there are some outliers. For instance, Christmas Vacation, 63 shots. It's great. They've done a very good job. It's a phenomenal cake. But for the most part, anything over 50 really is, you start slacking off on power, height, variety. So, because you got to understand, guys, if, for instance, if something like this, for instance, Light Brigade, it is 42 shots, 500 grams. You're not going to get all the shots that you are going to shoot are not going to be massive shots. Sure, you might have some sets that are bigger and some that might be just mines, or it might be just little flares, really. But you're not going to get a lot of big shots. My perfect world, you got to go with, typically try to go on aerial cakes that are typically between 12 to 24 or even 36 shots. Once you go a little bit more, they do slack off on certain variety. And not that I want to say anything bad about this item that we are returning, so Hit the Road Jack or Highfalutin, they are phenomenal cakes, classics, some of the best from Brothers. But for the amount of shots, for instance, 49 shots, so yes, they are within my regulations. But the problem that I have with something like this, for instance, if you were to compare this compared to Roaring Bot, for instance, this is 35 shots, but this is all pure chaos. Now, with Hit the Road Jack, it does lack a little bit on color. It is a lot of crackling in my opinion, but that's where you outweigh the pros and cons. So definitely, if you can, always try to stay out of 50 plus shots. Basically, go with something with as much standard as possible. But there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you guys did so, make sure you hit a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in another video right here on our channel. Bye-bye.